And ultimately, in the end, that is what any good life coaching course should be able to deliver to you when you choose to train with them. Is, are you going to reach the end of it and not be peeing in your pants, nervous about actually sitting one-on-one with someone who wants more for their life, who is not where they want to be, who is looking for guidance and coaching and motivation and accountability and support? Do you feel grounded in your capacity to be able to do that? That is what you should be looking for in regards to where you train and what is delivered to you. And I'm here to tell you, you can't get that in a weekend.
Hola, hola. It's your girl, Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, queen, as is. There is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome. And I am here to remind you, I'm a confidence coach, a business mentor, a speaker, an author, and I am obsessed with women standing up, showing up, and creating their confidence. And I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello, my friend. Today on the podcast, I have a very special guest. Not only is she a dear friend, but she's also a mentor and the founder and CEO of the Beautiful You Life Coaching Academy, Jules Parker. Oh my gosh, she's such a beautiful woman and her voice is so amazing. She runs this coaching academy. I am now a member of this academy. I don't know if I said it before on the podcast, but I've been studying a lot. I'm getting my bachelor's in psychotherapy, and yes, I am in coaching school. Now, you might be like, Erica, why? You're already a successful life coach. You make all your money. You have all these women you help. But guess what? If we don't continue to learn and grow and understand deeper knowledge, I'm not going to be the best life coach I can be. And so I wanted to get Jules on this episode specifically because she has 20 plus years training coaches from around the world, okay? But also, I'm in her school, and I wanted to get her to speak about the importance of getting knowledge and skills and integrity and knowing what it means to be trauma informed and knowing what it means to create a successful life coaching business. And she knows this best. And so many of you ask me, are you going to build a school? Can I become a life coach with you? You can't become a life coach with me, but you can become a life coach with Jules at the Beautiful You Academy. If you're interested and you want to learn more about this, I highly recommend you click the link in the show notes. It's going to take you over to her website and you can check it out. I'll tell you this, I don't fucks with everyone. And I think integrity is everything. And I'll tell you right now, hand on heart, this woman, Jules Parker, and her beautiful coaches and her amazing training academy is legit the real deal. If you are interested in looking for a place where you can learn the skills on how to become a heart-centered coach that's successful, that impacts, does income, and has influence in the world, then this is the place for you. You're going to love this episode. She answers some incredible questions. But more than that, we want to invite you at the end to join us. If you're live in Melbourne in October, we're having a full day event where we're going to explain all about what it means to become a successful life coach. For those of you that don't live in Melbourne and you can't come to this event, it's very small. It's going to be 30 people only, so I know it's going to sell out. But if you can't come, the following week, we're going to do a virtual event. And that is, everyone is welcomed if you want to learn more about this. So click the link in the show notes. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know how you like this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode with gorgeous Jules from the Beautiful You Academy. Jules Parker is in the house. I am so happy. My face hurts already from smiling. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Erica. I am so thrilled to be here. And yes, I've already got the cheek wobbles already from smiling so much. It's wonderful to be here.
You are such an incredible woman to so many people. And I just, before we even start, want to say thank you for being who you are, for caring so much, for having all the knowledge and experience that you have and that you bring to this industry, and the warm heart. You have such a warm, welcoming, nurturing, supportive heart. And this is why we all love you. So if anybody that's not listening, that's listening to this and is like, I need to meet Jules, I need to give her a hug. Who is she? Can you just explain who you are and what you do in this beautiful world?
Oh, well, thank you so much for your gorgeous words. They are nothing more than a mirror of you, because you know how much I love you and the beautiful work that you bring into the world, and the healing that you're such a catalyst for so many women. So thank you very much. For those that don't know me, Julie Parker, CEO and founder of the Beautiful You Coaching Academy. We train life coaches from all over the world to build heart-centered, really service-giving, focused businesses. And that's the nutshell. At the moment, I'm a speaker, an author, a variety of other things that are into the mix. Like so many of us, I'm very multi-passionate in this industry and world of human potential and personal development. And I just absolutely love what I do and believe that it makes a true difference in the world. And that's why I just have been here for such a long time now, a bit of a dinosaur in the coaching industry, nearly 20 years, 25 years as a clinical therapist. And I just love it and can't imagine doing anything else.
Oh my gosh, that is such a long time. You are so a pro at this. This is like your baby. Wow. So hold on. So were you back in the day when Tony Robbins, who kind of brought out the coaching thing?
Well, this is a really great question. You know, I have heard people describe Tony Robbins before as the father of coaching.
Yeah.
And that is quite inaccurate in a way, because it's been around a lot longer than that in varying different forms. But I suppose it really does depend upon your view or perspective of it. For example, in Latina culture, there have been forms of coaches, midwives, healers, shamans, gifts in your lineage, in my lineage, which is a Celtic line, in all cultures around the world in some form or another, space holders, okay, of which in particular women have incredible gifts in. It's just that we weren't called that. It's just that was not really quite what we were known as in different forms. But the actual coaching industry itself, in comparison to, say, something like therapy, is quite young. It's about a quarter of a century old. And it has its origins, which some people don't know, really in the corporate world. It began as a way for managers essentially to performance manage staff. You know, it was a HR thing. You know, how can I get more out of the people who work for me? Which, and this is a whole other conversation, is a pretty capitalist, right? You know, it's a bit ick. In a way. Thank goodness it is not solely that anymore. It has, and over my nearly 20 years in the industry, believe me when I tell you, it was very different when I started back then. It's now expanded significantly into so many other areas. There are now so many more women who are coaches. We have parenting coaches, spirituality coaches, health coaches, all sorts of different niches and wonderful things that now exist that never used to in the beginning. So Tony Robbins was around in those early stages, but certainly is not the person that invented coaching in any way.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true. There are so many different niches in coaching. And I think that as someone who trains coaches from all over, and you've done this for a really long time, what do you see when someone thinks like, the difference between coaching and therapy, which is a question that I hear a lot. Like, you've done therapy, you've done coaching, and you're now coaching. This is what you're loving, and training coaches. What if someone's listening and they're like, what's the difference? And how do I know if I need a coach versus a therapist?
Yeah. This is a really wonderful question, and it is actually the beginning hallmarks and foundations of anyone who trains to become a trauma-informed coach. It's something they need to be trained in and need to know.
Yeah.
It's a tenet.
You're big on
It's
that. You guys are
yeah,
big on that.
yeah, it's a foundational stepping stone that is necessary so that all coaches who are trained very well understand what is called their scope of practice, which is just another word or another phrase of knowing where you can go with someone and where you should not, based on their needs. So this is a really large topic, but in essence, a simple way, but also it's very multi-layered, and of course we've only got a certain amount of time here, is that someone is more likely to need therapy and counselling based support if they, well, of course, first of all, are experiencing significant mental health difficulties, issues in relation to addiction, violence, anything like that in their life that is deeply impacting their ability to be able to function as a human being. That requires a specialist form of support and coaches are specialized as well, but they don't work with people in those realms. And it's also necessary for anybody who is needing to deeply process past traumas, wounds, and really go into a deep dive of healing, because it's showing up in their everyday life in a way that's feeling not great for them, whether it be they're experiencing deep depression, anxiety, they're really struggling with relationships. All of those kinds of things require a therapeutic intervention. And they usually involve looking at where someone is and then significantly into their past to work out what needs to be healed and talked about and alchemized into something that's so much more positive for them in the now. Coaching, however, takes a look at where someone is and where they want to go in the future. And then a coach helps someone close that gap by taking action and being in positive forward movement towards the health or the well-being or the personal or the mindset or the relationship goals that they would like to have. This does not mean that they're not going to ever talk about someone's past or things that may pop up that need healing or guiding in some way. But the person who is able to engage with a coach is going to be able to be in action. They're not deeply stuck or inert in a major way. They can actually engage with a coach in a partnership to help drive their life forward.
That is such a, I mean, I know this is what you do, but that is such a great explanation. It is so good. And I feel like it's why I first was called to coaching. I had a clairvoyant coach actually, which is just, for me, I was like, what is any of this? It was incredible. But it was really the doing something, that we're moving to a place. All right, we've got a future that we're living in, because I had 19 years of therapy. And I think I needed that in some of those years. And then I got to this kind of plateau that was like, okay, now what? I have talked about that a lot and it's not changing. So let's go future. And I think that that's such a beautiful explanation, that we can support clients to get what they want in their lives, and accountability, and give them all of that. So here's what I'd love to know. I joined the Beautiful You Coaching Academy. So in this July, I started with your incredible academy, and just blown away by like all of the resources, the amazing support, just everything that you guys have thought so hard to put into this. Everything was on purpose and guiding us on our journey. And as someone who coaches already, it was really beautiful to go even deeper into some of these elements and be in a community of incredible coaches that want to do this work. So when you see this and when you wanted to create this, what did you see that was missing out there in the world of learning how to become a life coach?
I love this question so much. Thank you for asking it of me, because it allows me to really speak to the heart of
Mm.
what I believe the Beautiful You Coaching Academy and life coaching course is, because when I trained to be a coach nearly 2 decades ago now, the industry was still in that very masculine corporate mode. And in all honesty, I wondered whether, when I turned up for my first day of training, whether I had made a mistake.
Wow.
And whether this really was for me. But as a therapist at that time, I was seeking and searching for a different way of working with people. I loved the therapeutic work that I was doing, but I was also looking at something that I wanted to be more dynamic and really looked at people's lives in a broader way. Something told me to keep going while I was being training, and it just kept coming through with this voice of, you can make this your own. You are meant to be here. You will make this your own. And that's exactly what I did over many years, Erica, when I first started practicing as a coach privately in my own business, way back in the time when nobody knew what one was,
Yeah.
19 years ago. And slowly over time, I developed my own way of coaching and my own particular model. And I moved into a place of starting to attract a lot of coaches as clients, because they could see that my work was just being so successful. At one point in time, I had a 6-month waiting list to get in to see me, and they're like, what are you doing? And that was eventually when the idea came to me. Mind you, this was a good 8 years, 9 years later. It was not, I trained to be a coach and then all of a sudden I was training coaches.
Thank you for saying that.
Right. I was out there pounding the pavement for, 8 years plus, and working up my own model and way before this came to me. And I was developing it slowly over time. And essentially, what I saw was missing and what I wanted to develop was a way of training coaches to work with their clients in a very heart-centered and feeling-based way. So the best way I can describe that is that I was sick and tired of seeing people set goals like, I want to lose 15 pounds or 12 kilos, or I want to find a hot husband, or I want to make $1 squillion.
Yeah.
Moving towards those things, even potentially achieving them, and then wondering why they weren't happy, why they weren't fulfilled. And over time, I've come to understand and realize that there's nothing wrong with someone wanting to lose weight or earn really great money or find a hot partner. But what they're really after underneath all of that is the feelings that they believe that is going to give them at the time that they have it. The weight loss, what they really want is to feel sexy and strong and confident and energized. With money, so often what people want is to feel safe and secure and grounded. With partnership, people want to be loved. They want to feel love and they want to be loved. And this is really the cornerstone of everything that we teach our life coaches, is how to work with your clients in a deep, feeling-based way that allows them to set goals that go richer and deeper into their soul, that allows them to really think about, how do I want to feel every day? How do I want to turn up? What sort of person do I want to be? What kind of impact do I want to have on the world? Why am I here? And that means that I know our coaches are out there doing the most beautiful work with their clients. And also that in the journey that they go on when training with us, they're doing that work for themselves too.
It's like a 2-in-1.
Yeah.
How good. Where did the name come from, Beautiful You Academy?
My business originally as a coach and a therapist had a niche and a speciality of supporting women who had body image, self-esteem, and self-confidence concerns.
Wow.
And it was called Beautiful You Coaching.
Wow.
And when I started the academy, it had become it had become a name.
Yeah.
It had traction. And so I just tagged the academy on the end. I will admit, Erica, there have been times when I've wondered whether that was the right thing to do, because
Yeah.
I know that it's a name that doesn't necessarily resonate with everyone. But also I know that over time that's been a good thing, because you know you don't resonate with everyone, and
Yeah.
that's actually exactly the way it's meant to be.
Yeah.
But we're nearly 10 years, we turn 10 next year
Happy
as an
birthday.
academy. Thank you. A decade old.
Wow.
And it's just kind of worked. But
Yeah.
really, it was a flow on from my original coaching
Oh,
business.
that's
Yeah.
what your coaching business was called. It makes me always want to say beautiful to you. And I feel like everyone speaks on the welcome call was like, beautiful, beautiful. I'm like, oh, it's like a beautiful seed. See, like it's a seed that gets planted, which I don't know, brings joy. It definitely
Mm.
makes you feel some joy in the state. So thank you for sharing that story. Okay. So I, on this podcast, obviously speak to women about creating confidence and owning who they are and speaking up and showing up and healing their past so they can create the life that they desire. And so the amazing listeners here, I feel like there's a different group. Some of them are just learning about their own stuff and their thoughts and their beliefs and the relationships they get into. And they're starting to see and hear, kind of like Erica's the big sister in the Bluetooth being like, girl, you got this, go for your life. And they're like, whoa. And they're starting to understand things about themselves. And another group of women that listen to this podcast are like, I'm healing, I'm doing my work, I feel so good. I want to share this with my husband and I want to tell my cousin, and I can see the things because I've done it and the awareness is there. And I might love to become a life coach, maybe. And so there's a little seed. I can hear the seed growing inside of you, listeners. And this was the seed that grew in me after 8 years, which is funny enough. I didn't care about anyone in those 8 years because I had so much to unravel. And once I did, I'm like, whoa. And I think it's a natural progression. I'd love to hear your thoughts on when you start doing your work and unraveling and finding coaching and finding tools and techniques and books. And it's like this momentum. Do you feel like people's like heart center opens and now they're like, I want to be of service? Or do you feel like that's something that you see happens to people in their journey?
Absolutely. It
Mm,
does not happen to everybody,
yes.
because it's not meant to happen for
Mm,
everybody. And that's a positive thing.
mm,
But it definitely happens for some people.
yeah.
There is no doubt about that. They reach a particular point where they think, wow, this has been incredibly profound for me. And this is where it ends. It just ends with me. I
Yeah.
want to just keep working on me. This is what has been right for me, this journey, like a journey that they have taken with
Yeah.
yourself. But for others, they realize that that journey of how they've worked on themselves and what they've healed, what they've overcome, what they've learned, how they're taking their own life and stepping forward with it, they come to a conclusion that they want it to involve other people,
Mm,
and or a deepening of how they can then use what it is that they've learned and take that to the next level. There is no doubt about this. When we get to the point in time in our training where people start talking about the niches and the areas that they're interested in going into, a lot of people can sometimes express some shock and surprise when they're looking at trying to find what their ideal client is. They say something to us like, I feel like I'm describing myself.
yeah.
Right. And we're like, that's okay. Why do you think that's a problem? It
Yeah.
actually makes complete sense that at least when you're emerging into a life coaching field or thinking about helping and supporting people, that you may be drawn to helping other people that have had similar experiences to
Mm,
you.
mm.
And that's not always the case, but for many people, it can be. So, yes, for some people, it really does feel like a natural progression.
Yeah. Okay. So if some of those listeners are here and they're like, I want to learn because all of you send me beautiful messages and I love you. And we have some very exciting news, like super exciting news that we're going to share wrapped into this. But if someone's listening to this and they're like, I think I want to become a life coach. I think this is my calling. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm not sure. What do you say to that beautiful listener right now?
Well, if you're scared and you're not sure, you're in exactly the right place that you should be to
Yeah.
begin with, because no fear comes to any of us when we're on the precipice of
Yeah.
an amazing decision or a next step in our life, if it doesn't have some kind of deeper level meaning for us. And so if you're feeling a bit scared and a bit unsure, then please know that you're not alone there. You should have seen me the night before I pressed live on a life coaching training academy website. It's like starting my own business as a coach was
Yeah.
nothing in comparison to that. So I was so scared. I
Yeah.
was so scared. But it's what you do with that fear, and you will know within yourself whether the time is right for you to make the next step or not. And the way that you will know that is by grounding yourself in your desires, in your
Mm.
soul calling, what you really want, with a combination of making sure that you then resource and educate yourself
Mm.
around what options are there for you. Because, you know, I'm the last person in the world that is going to sit here and say, oh, just go and do it. It's like, no,
Mm.
research, educate yourself. Because, for example, you might find that we, like Erica has with us, we could be a wonderful option for you. We also might not be.
Mm.
And you might need to seek something else for yourself.
Mm.
But do some research, talk to people, ask people, think about the type of coach that you want to be, and look at the coaches that you follow and admire. Where did they train?
Yeah.
What education do they have? Look into things like, is it a trauma informed, is it certified? Is it, all of those sorts of things, whatever is important to you, the look, the feel, the what kind of support you're going to get. And the third thing that I would mention in this is, anytime your ego voice pops up with anything along the lines of, you're not good enough to do this, you
Mm.
don't know enough, you are too old, you are too young, you are too fat, you are not educated enough, all of
Mm.
those kinds of things, please know that it's just your head asking you to love and compassionately inquire what's happening for you
Mm.
before you may take any next step. It's not actually the truth.
Mm.
Right? Because these sorts of things come up to us all the time when we're on the precipice of making these big decisions. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's a fact. It's just a thought,
Yeah.
right? And it's not bound or steeped in truth in any way.
Mm.
And believe me when I tell you, we need life coaches in this industry
Oh,
that are messy,
yeah.
imperfect, not trying to present polished,
Yeah.
amazing versions of themselves all the time, because that's not what clients want. They want coaches who are relatable, who are vulnerable, who are real. And
Mm.
so that's what you've got to tap into: your rawness, your relatability, your realness, not anything that you think we want to see.
Mm.
It's you in all of your everyday realness that is going to be the thing that will
Mm.
make you a wonderful coach.
And see, like, if you're listening to this or watching this, you can just like feel the warmth from Jules. Like, she's just this, like, I listened on the welcome call and I was so happy to, because I love you, and we know each other. And I was so happy to watch people throwing flowers. And like,
Oh,
I'm like, oh, dale la flores a Julie. Like, it was very like a Latin moment for me of like, like people just being like, I'm here because you're so warm. I'm here because of how you hold space. I'm here because, and you're so in your trust, like the right people will magnetize towards the school and towards me. And there's like wisdom in this woman. Okay, y'all, there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of calm. And, I'm learning from
um,
you, Jules, with my crazy
um,
hypo, like, take a breath, girl, and it's just being your friend and being in your presence and witnessing you and learning from you on the other side, being a member of the Beautiful You Academy it's like, wow, like you really do draw that in. And so I love that you said it might not be for you. And we joke, but like, there are people that will tell you could be a life coach in a weekend. And I'm just like, run, please run. But that
it's out there.
I
It is. And
know.
there will people tell you that you can build a 6-figure business in 6 days.
I
You know,
know.
it's like
Like,
there's
run.
some, there is some version of those sorts of things that exist in this industry. And it's marketing.
Yeah.
And these sorts of things exist in other industries as well, not
Mhm.
just coaching, but of course, whatever it is that we're seeing all regularly is what, has the power to impact and influence us.
Mm.
And you're 100% right, Erica, is that what I now know, having trained thousands of life coaches from all over the world and this global, beautiful community that we have, is that we attract the most incredible people.
Mm.
And it's because we're really clear about who we're for. We
Mm.
are for heart-centered, healing, incredible people that want to create a life that makes a true impact.
Mm.
And when you are clear about who, and we are that too,
Yeah.
we are that too. And so this is why people find themselves in our courses and communities, and I know they do in yours too, because you are so clear about who you are for, who
Mm.
you are not for, and the
Yeah.
type of people that you want to bring in. And
Mm.
that's why, and it's one of the things we tell our trainees and emerging coaches all the time, you will end up being each other's guides and teachers just as much as our wonderful training team. And we all learn from each other here
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. It's so true. Like, it's such permission as well for you to be who you want to be. And remember, someone once said to me, like, that's your medicine. And, Jules has her medicine, and you're listening to this and you have your medicine. If you clicked on this episode, obviously you have some interest and there's something that's peaking in there. And I did a podcast ages ago called "If You Want to Be a Life Coach, Listen to This" or something, right? And it was basically Erica's take of Erica's medicine, ranting. And I'll tell you, because I really got upset initially. I got really pissed off about the industry, because I would open up a Vogue magazine and it was like, my therapist, my therapist, my therapist, my therapist. And then it was like, coaches aren't good. Like, coaches are a joke. And you listen to people say, like, every second person's a coach on Instagram. And I even working with some coaches, they don't want to call themselves coaches. And I'm like, hey, hold on, what is happening? And what I discovered in my little research of it was that there are 14-year-old relationship coaches, right? Who will help you and say on social media, I can help you, and I'm 14. And you're like, I love you, but you can't even drive a car. Like, how are you a life coach? And, and so my kind of rant was about, get educated, get the skills, learn how to actually help and support people. And I'm doing that still. I will never stop learning. I will never stop taking classes and courses and schools, and as much as I can, because I don't want to think that I know it all, because I don't. Things change and you have to learn and upskill, and the world is changing so much. But one of the things that I really love about the integrity that you have in your school, you guys intake only a certain amount of people, because obviously you don't want to intake millions of people and then you can't hold space for them. So the integrity that you have in your school, and I would love to hear more about that. Like, there's a certain number, you onboard people or welcome people in advance. So the sign up for the school that's starting next year is already, people are signing up. So then there's a wait list, and you're really meticulous about who gets in where and what you do and how you attract them. And then the teaching that you give, I think one of the first videos I watched was about trauma informed, and it was in depth, kind of what you mentioned, but in depth. Okay. So I just really think that if you're listening to this and you're anywhere near interested, it's so important with who you train, that you learn some skills. Can you speak to that intentionality around how many people you take, why you do it that way, and all of that around that?
Yeah, it's a really big question, and you're right. We do, and these things are within context. So for some people, this might sound like a really large number, right? But you have to remember within this that there is a team behind it that are holding space. It's not just one. So we have multiple trainers in the course, multiple touch points of Facebook group, membership site, email, live calls, variety of different things. So we only take 100 people every year. And that is a number that feels great to us in regards to making sure that everybody has an experience whereby they're seen and held. We deliberately hold calls at different times of the day to suit different time zones around the world. We ask people to let us know if they have any special needs around neurodiversity, access, things that they are traversing in their life that may be challenging or difficult that they want us to know about. We want people to feel very held and very seen. And in training people to become trauma-informed coaches, we have a responsibility to therefore provide an educational space that is trauma-informed as well.
Yeah.
And all of those things go into that. And everyone is looking for something different in a life coaching course, except I think even if they don't know it, Erica, this one very, very important thing, and that is, how can I reach a point where I wholly and solely believe I have the skills, the knowledge, the capacity, and the confidence to be able to help people that pay me to work with me get results? And ultimately, in the end, that is what any good life coaching course should be able to deliver to you when you choose to train with them. Is, are you going to reach the end of it and not be peeing in your pants, nervous about actually sitting one-on-one with someone who wants more for their life, who is not where they want to be, who is looking for guidance and coaching and motivation and accountability and support? Do you feel grounded in your capacity to be able to do that? That is what you should be looking for in regards to where you train and what is delivered to you. And I'm here to tell you, you can't get that in a weekend. You might get it in many different sorts of training courses, but you can't get it in a weekend.
It's not a $30 Udemy online course.
No, it is not. It is something that requires you to look at everything from how you are holding space with yourself to the actual skills that you require as a coach, to your own sacred and self-leadership as a space holder, and what happens when things go wrong or things don't feel right, or how you can be more present and focused with someone. It is a beautiful, rich, and amazing way to work with people, and it is not fluffy and silly or light.
Yeah. I have to say, you've thought of everything with this, and obviously after 10 years, happy 10-year anniversary. I mean, and you've got such a beautiful crew and alumni who've graduated, who are like there supporting everyone, and just even the women who I saw, and a couple men. By the way, I do get some men or anybody identifying as man who listens to this podcast. Her school is also, it's open. It's not for women. There's a lot of women, right? Because we love it, but it's all genders. Everyone is welcome. There's so many different countries, different religions, backgrounds. So, and you're so beautiful with the way that you enjoy and welcome everyone and join everyone together, because we're all here because we want to be of service, right? And we want to, and you're right, the world needs more life coaches. I mean, oh Lord, do we need it right now? It's just like, what a great time. So I know that we don't have heaps of time, and that you're going to get back into doing what you do, and you do it best, and you're incredible. And I'm so grateful for this time. I think that anyone listening is like, wow, first of all, greatest voice ever. It's just so soothing. I could listen to you all day, Jules. But I want to let you know, if you're interested, two things. If you're interested in learning more about the Beautiful You Academy, and this is the school that I am currently going to myself, so we're in it as well, and it is incredible, and I stand by her amazing work. If you want to learn more about this, we are hosting a day. Jules and I are going to do a beautiful day. She's coming on as a guest to share all her knowledge. So a full day event in Melbourne on the 8th of October. at our headquarters at the Queen of Confidence HQ. Oh my God, that was so Australian, HQ. And we're going to have you as a guest. It's going to be amazing. It's going to
Amazing. See, I lost my breath there for a second.
Like,
it's going to be
doing this.
It's going to be so amazing. I am so looking forward to doing this with you, Erica, and just really providing the most incredible value to anyone present on that day who really believes that, you know, they want to know more about becoming a coach and that life coaching could be the next steps for them. And we're going to talk about our foibles, our failings, our failures, our missteps, all the things that we've done wrong. And there's been some of those and so many other things as well. It's going to be an amazing day. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, like all how the success, the amount of money and impact and influence and support you can create. Like we have so many more questions that we can't answer on this podcast because we're going to answer them on the live day, October 8th. All the details are in the show notes. And we're going to do it virtually because I hear you, my American and UK and Canadian and New Zealand and Germany. We hear you. So Jules, we're also going to jump on Zoom. We're going to jump on a masterclass virtually. And it's going to be awesome. And so what this event is, you are not going to become a life coach in one day. Okay. Number one.
No, I can't deliver that for you. My nervous system will fritz.
Yeah. We're not doing that. We just said that's not a good idea. So what we want this to be about, and really why I asked Jules, can you come? Can you be here? Because I get so many that listen to this episode, to this podcast, and so many that follow on social media, and so many women. Shout out to the sisterhood. So many women in the sisterhood that they start and they're like, I think I want to do this. And maybe I make it look really easy because, you know, it's been a couple of years we've been doing this, but it is not if you don't know what to do. And it is not if you don't feel supported and you don't feel confident. And like you said, you can't get the client a result. That's the whole point of doing this, right? And so if you're interested in that, please come to the live day in Melbourne. The one caveat is it's very small. So it's going to be a very intimate, hand-picked event. So if you are interested, click the link in the show notes. You have to fill out a little application. We have to make sure that you're the right person. If you're ready to do this and you're like, I want to do this. I love this episode. I love Jules, Erica. Let's sign me up. Click that link and we'll get you in there. 30 people are going to be welcomed. And if you're a dude and you want to come, you can come. Okay. So it's 30 people. And then we're going to do the virtual as well. The virtual. Right. We're going to pop the dates inside of the show notes. So
I think we're virtual like a week later or something.
A week later. Yeah. So everything will be there. I cannot wait to see those of you there. And I know you have more questions. I can hear you in your head. Like, well, what about this? She's going to answer those questions.
I cannot wait. I am so excited. And I'm really, really excited. And Erica, you better have one of those hats for me to try on.
I've got 4 hats for you. It's going to match your shirt. We're going to be in pink. So if you're coming, come in pink. Jules, thank you so much for who you are in the world and for the amazing work and for showing up every day to continue to do this and support 100 coaches who knows how much impact that school that you built has created around the world. I mean, that's a lot of waves of impact. So sister, thank you so, so much for who you are in the world.
Thank you, Erica. I so appreciate that and seeing and loving you back with that, with all of your beautiful and brilliant work. Thank you so much for having me on today. I have loved it. I could talk forever with you, but I know we must wrap up, and thank you for everything you bring to me and to the world as well. And it's just a real joy to be looking forward to this event with you.
You are the best. And for anyone who's like, I need to hear more of her voice, you have a podcast. How can people find you if they're like, I want to hear about Jules, I want to learn more, I want to join right now, forget about October. Where can they find you?
Yeah, we're at beautifulyoucoachingacademy.com, beautifulyouLifeCoachingCourse.com as well, which is where you can find out more detailed information about the course. And we have an incredible podcast called Inspired Coach, and we showcase our coaches on there, their success stories, inspirational interviews. We have the Coach's Couch where you can submit a question to me, and I would love to answer that for you. Erica has, of course, been on the show, and it's wonderful, and we just love bringing that resource to people.
You guys are so good. You even highlight your coaches. I mean, seriously, you're the best. Thank you so much, Jules. I'll see you in October.
See you there.
Thank you so much for listening. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your ears and your energy and your attention. Thank you for letting me into your world. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in to this podcast. There are so many podcasts you can listen to, and I deeply, deeply, for real, appreciate you listening to mine. Do me one big favor, one big thing. Please share this episode or this podcast with a woman who you know needs to hear this. This is my mission on planet Earth, to serve as many women as possible so that we could show up, stand up, speak up, and create the confidence and the life that we desire. I appreciate you, my love. I will see you on the next episode.